Hi, good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing well. We will get started momentarily, letting the last few folks jump in here and getting started. So we will start momentarily. Glad you all could join us. All right, it looks like we've got the majority of the folks in. Welcome. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Guy Gaster. I'm with Visit NC and serve as our film office director, but happy to be hosting this webinar today and very excited to be talking about some travel trends and beyond with our friends from Expedia. And Kristi Pruitt will be joining us and talking about that, and also maybe even looking back on some of the things from this past year. So, and again, very excited to have Kristi here and see what she's got to share. I do want to talk, not to jump ahead, but I do, because of the holidays, want to share. We have some upcoming webinars that you may want to go ahead and put on your calendar. The first is in January. Again, those who may not be as familiar, this webinar series takes place monthly and it's scheduled for the second Thursday of each month at 10 a.m. So January 9th is that second Thursday, so pretty quick here in January. But we'll be talking the Tourism Exchange USA program, which focuses with some of our international markets. Heidi Walters will be joining us, as well as our friends with Tourism Exchange USA. And then in February, we're going to have a Visit NC 101 webinar. And this will especially be helpful for folks who are either new to the industry or new to the industry in North Carolina. And we're going to introduce the entire Visit NC staff, talk about our programs and how they work, and really use this as a primer of get to know Visit NC, and also in preparation for the upcoming Visit NC conference. So again, back to today and at hand, here to talk with us from Expedia is Kristi Pruitt. Kristi, welcome, and take it away.
Thanks, Scott.
And while Kristi pulls up her slide deck here, I do want to remind, feel free to use the Q&A feature and or the chat feature. I'll be monitoring that throughout, and we will take the questions you submit during throughout the discussion there. At the end, I'll bring them up for Kristi. So again, don't hesitate to use those two features, the Q&A and the chat feature.
Fantastic. I'm very excited to be here today, and thank you everyone for calling in to join. So a little bit of background. In my day-to-day, I lead a team of account managers. They work with hotels in Atlanta and several markets in North Carolina. And here in the Atlanta office, I have counterparts that lead team covering most of the markets in the Southeast. So my team helps hotels strategize to capture the demand that you drive to your destination. So with that being said, today, I'll share some trends on what the travelers are looking for and the value that Expedia Group brings to both travelers and you. And to clarify, I'm not here to sell you advertising, and that's not my expertise, but I do have a colleague, Jessica Clary, to support with that, and she is on the call listening as well. So she can drop her contact information in the chat if you'd like to reach out to her. And I will say, I can't thank her enough for bringing me into the conversation early during the crisis. With Helene. Her support and relationships with the state helped open lines of communication for all of us to support each other and ultimately the traveler. So I'm also going to call out the elephant in the room. I know there was frustration around us closing the Asheville market entirely, and I'll own that we don't always get it right. We have a culture of feedback at Expedia, and we welcome the feedback from you as well. And I'm very, very grateful that we heard from so many of you with updates and letting us know, hey, we're here, we're open, and we want to welcome travelers. We don't know what the future holds in terms of climate events, and we never could have anticipated what happened this year, but we do hope to earn your trust and hope to show the value in our partnership for you and for our lodging partners beyond the day-to-day business. So please reach out to connect and just keep those lines of communication open. So a little bit of looking back. First, Expedia believes in supporting the local communities that we work with. We have a culture of giving back, and Expedia Group donated to World Central Kitchen and Center for Disaster Philanthropy, as well as matched employee donations one-to-one through Benevity. Also, when the market did start to reopen, we were able to communicate accurately, know before you go details to our private label partners. These partners, they work with companies to book travel to support recovery and support organizations. And thanks to Visit North Carolina's weekly Western North Carolina update calls, we were able to bring additional value. So, for example, I was able to share with my colleague that works with Agencia, very detailed information, know before you go. Agencia came back to us and said, this is great. How can we get more of this? So it's this type of collaboration and feedback from you that helps to shape how we can support recovery through internal and external communications for future crises. Also, we paused the Asheville Hotel Co-op that was supposed to launch on October 1, and then we reopened it for enrollment and expanded it to surrounding areas to support recovery. The response was overwhelming, and Expedia made the decision to match the hotel's investments dollar to dollar to help to double that reach and awareness and support. We know these co-ops are effective. For example, the Charlotte hotels that participated in the co-op earlier this year benefited from 1.5 million unique impressions and saw a return of 53 to 1 on their investment. So I can't wait to see the impact that the Asheville hotels see. And along with two of my team members, I'll be in Asheville next week. We're going to visit hotels, eat at the restaurants, and also host a partner appreciation happy hour. If you'll be in the area, please reach out. We would love for you to join us. And then finally, the team members in the Atlanta office want to give back and want to do more. So they are going to fill up my Mazda with supplies for the Asheville Humane Society for us to deliver next week. I just hope there's room in the car for me and for my little travel companion, Harley, who often travels with me to Asheville. So let's kick this off. We just talked about Asheville and some of the Western North Carolina Expedia support and how we're moving forward. We're also going to talk about some path to purchase and Unpack 25 trends that we're seeing, conversion and reach. So we're going to talk about the things that Expedia is doing to innovate and help your partners convert. And then what does our reach really look like? And what does that look like for North Carolina? And so our reach is actually well beyond the retail sites too. We're going to get to that part later, but let's talk about what's happening in North Carolina. Over the past couple of months, we've definitely seen a decline from top reader markets. Some of this could be seasonality. Some of this could also be due to Helene. I don't think this really is a surprise. In addition, when we look at competing markets, we have seen a little bit of a decline in the volume of room nights booked January to November versus October to November. Again, Florida is a nice place to visit in the winter, but also there are sentiments and there are assumptions by travelers all over the country that it's even beyond Western North Carolina where there was damage. So there's opportunity to create awareness. And let's face it, when it comes to searching for travel, travelers face a travel planning maze. Americans consume the most content. We juggle flights, hotels, activities, and then we flip through about 277 pages in the 45 days before booking. For context, vehicle shoppers will visit about 5 sites and home buyers will tour about 10 homes in the weeks before deciding. So we look at a lot of things before we book our travel. And a lot of these pages that are visited are OTAs. 80% of travelers use an OTA leading up to the travel purchase. The path to purchase study that we conducted was conducted April 30th to May 14th, 2024. It included respondents 16 to 64 that booked a vacation within the past 3 to 6 months. And there were over 8,000 respondents globally. So as I just stated, 80% of the travelers will start their search or within their search use OTAs. They may not book through us ultimately, but OTAs do provide that excellent resource. And this isn't just applicable for the leisure guest. Oftentimes we hear of event planners and meeting coordinators that will look at OTAs just to see exactly what all a market offers. 58% of travelers use social media. Influencers are the modern day travel agent. And I'll share later what we've been working on in that space. 63% of vacation rental bookers didn't even have a destination in mind when they wanted to take a trip, and hotel travelers weren't far behind at 56%. They want inspiration. And I'll say Expedia travelers are 22% more likely to be undecided on a destination before booking. And this is a fun one. Leisure travelers are 30% more likely to be influenced by advertising. How many times have you booked a work trip and thought, I might not go here on my own dime. So what if I extend and see what all I can see while I'm there? So why Expedia? Our travelers spend more and they're good for local business. They're more likely to upgrade. They like 4-star hotels and they're going to spend in the market while they're there. And more great news for the immediate, there's a lot of spontaneous travel planning happening. So that 0 to 30-day search window saw a 10% increase quarter over quarter. And we're seeing some really fun trends appear in what travelers are looking for in these spontaneous getaways. So let's unpack how you can inspire these travelers in 2025. Our Unpack 25 study draws on first-party data from Expedia, Hotels.com, and Vrbo, as well as a global consumer survey of 25,000 travelers across 19 countries. So this research gives us a look at how travelers are going to be planning for travel in Q1 and throughout the coming year. The first one, this is a fun one. So set jetting. Expedia spotted that set jetting is an emerging trend and entertainment on screen is still growing as a source of travel inspiration. 2/3 of travelers shared that movies, streaming services, and TV shows have influenced their travel choices. And 36% say TV and films were more influential on their travel plans than they were last year. I'm guilty. I don't know if anyone recognizes this image, but a few years ago, while I was still living in DC, I road trip down to Asheville, actually, with my boyfriend and our 2 dogs. He just wanted to get to the breweries, but I insisted that we stop off at the Mountain Lake Lodge in Pembroke, Virginia. You might also know it as Kellerman's Resort from Dirty Dancing. I know that's a bit controversial to bring up on this call, but it did not disappoint. And yes, the lake is dried up. And I know that there's a lot of great things to see across North Carolina where there's been filming, and I'm sure travelers are already thinking about that when they watch certain shows. So another one, everyone's a reporter and a producer of content now. So in addition to the filming, everyone's a movie producer, right? Some more than others, and some are better at it than others. I'm not good at it. And it's no secret that travelers turn to this travel influencers that they trust and admire for ideas and inspiration. In 2025, it's the year that travelers go from looking at influencer trips to actually booking them. So according to a Sprout Social 2024 influencer marketing report, half of all consumers make daily, weekly, or monthly purchases based on influencer posts. Social shopping has become, it's a hard one to say, it's become a new norm with TikTok and Instagram. And this trend is just scratching the surface. So our survey found that half of American consumers say that they wanted to book a trip they saw in their social feeds, but time and complexity prevented them from doing so. So Expedia sees this as an opportunity, right? 80% of US adults use travel influencers for recommendations. That's huge, and 90% of Gen Z. So let's talk about travel shops. We're going to bridge that gap. They're the first of its kind shoppable storefronts for creators to share and save their travel recommendations. Creators can generate links and they can highlight and share with their followers, and they earn commissions when travelers click through to book. Sounds like a familiar business model, right? This is why I say influencers are the modern day travel agents. So let's see what that looks like with these influencers.
Expedia just announced their travel shop.
All of my hotel recommendations and what amazing unique bucket list experiences that I will never forget. Your ultimate guide to unforgettable getaways, handpicked by yours truly.
Ready to share with all of you.
Pretty cool, right? Uh-oh. There's music coming from somewhere. One moment, everyone. All right. In 2024, tour tourism was a hot trend, and we actually saw that play out with the Swifty effect across North America and globally. We actually predict that tour tourism's encore this year, and it's not just about concerts. 70% of our travelers polled said they would absolutely travel for a concert or event, and they said it's an excuse to check out a new destination. Because in 2025, travelers are not only taking the road well traveled, they're also taking detours to experience and discover new places. Guy, I'm sorry, I don't know if that music is coming from my computer. If you can hear it.
I hear something, it's very faint, but I think it would be, yes. I'm sorry, Kristi.
Okay, if it's very faint, then maybe it's just gonna set the mood.
Yeah, I'll let you know, or if anyone else hears it more so than I am on my end, just feel free to mention that in the chat. But yeah, Kristi, if you're able to go forward, it's not interfering, at least on my end,
All right.
or distracting. How's that? So it's not
As long as
distracting.
everyone
Yeah,
can still hear me, then we'll keep on rolling.
you're good.
So sorry for that detour. Let's keep talking about some detour destinations. And according to our survey, 63% of the consumers said that they're likely to visit a detour destination on their next trip. So remember when I shared earlier that 30% of leisure travelers will actually admit to being influenced by advertising? Put that together with a detour, and I think that presents a lot of opportunity for North Carolina. The next one, so while FOMO is of course driving that tourism encore, others are seeking out private vacation homes and embracing JOMO, the joy of missing out. It's all about embracing private vacation homes that protect your peace and quiet on your next trip. And travelers feel that this helps improve their mental health and well-being. 62% say that JOMO travel reduces stress and anxiety. Nearly half says it allows them to better reconnect with loved ones. And remember, 63% of vacation rental travelers don't have a destination in mind when they want to travel. But then there's still that FOMO, right? So while we're on the topic of vacation rentals, according to our survey, 80% of travelers say it's important that they stay in a place that offers a prime viewing spot for natural phenomena. So maybe JOMO and FOMO can coexist. In 2025, the solar eclipse sold out rural private vacation homes in its path, and this set off a wave of travelers going to great lengths to witness these natural phenomena. And North Carolina is a state with many unique vacation rental properties and incredible destinations, but also perhaps there's a new natural phenomena coming to UNC with Bill Belichick. I don't know if anyone else heard the announcement this morning. Sure, you probably did, and that's very exciting. No doubt will draw some travelers to the state of North Carolina. I grew up in SEC country, and on Saturdays, on game day, you cannot plan anything. And at Verbo, we understand.
Start to say, Kristi, on this one, unfortunately, the sound isn't coming through.
I know. I know you didn't get to hear the sound, but Verbos offer an excellent place to watch a game or gather and go to a game together. And I know there's a lot of great vacation rental properties in North Carolina. And sadly, as college football fans, we know that loyalty doesn't always get rewarded. But at EG, we want to change that. And I'm sure at this point, many of you have heard about OneKey. It's our new loyalty program that launched in the US and other markets are following. So as we started to build OneKey, we discovered that roughly 83% of travelers never earn status or meaningful benefits from their existing loyalty programs. And many of these travelers are actually vacation rental bookers. OneKey is a loyalty program for every traveler. We have the highest value members in online travel, and that value is going to benefit both hotels and VR hosts moving forward. And we realized that giving our travelers the ability to earn and burn across different lines of business will be a game changer and open up new travelers for all of you. OneKey members can earn and redeem their rewards nights across all 3 of our 4 brands. So that's right. Book your vacation rental, earn points, use it on a hotel, book a hotel, and use it on a Vrbo next time. And there's one simple currency, OneKey Cash. It's fully funded by Expedia. I'll say that again. It is fully funded by Expedia. It makes it easy for members to know the value of the reward dollars that they're going to earn. And Expedia has actually funded over $1 billion in traveler rewards. So we want to make sure that whenever that demand is coming to your destination, that the travelers are converting. And some members are also incentivized to book through special discounts fenced to these members based on their level of status. And up until now, these tiered membership discounts were only available for hotels, but not Vrbo partners. That's changing in 2025, and hosts will have a lot more to be able to set themselves apart, especially premier hosts. Member discounts help travelers convert when they're considering your destination. Gold and platinum members actually spend 21% more per lodging booking than non-members. And you can also target our high-value travelers with tiered member. You can target our high-value travelers with tiered member-only deals, and hopefully soon with bonus OneKey Cash. So we did some testing and funded an additional loyalty cash specifically for silver and gold members. And the properties that had the additional rewards were booked twice as much by our silver and gold members. So let's see what this looks like for the traveler. So you see these 2 hotels, and this Blue Sky hotel already engages with our accelerator tool to boost their visibility in the search results. But now, what if it changed to be $2,850 in OneKey Cash than just $950? So we take part of that accelerator compensation, give it back to the traveler, making properties in your destination stand out. Stay tuned for more details on this fully rolling out, but I will say the pilot that happened was very, very positive. We saw great results. So it's just one way that we're innovating to support your hotels to convert once the traveler is shopping your destination. And again, we have an excellent team of account managers and the tools and products to support, so to help and drive that revenue. So we've discussed traveler insights and trends with the Unpack report, and you're thinking, wow, my destination is exactly what travelers are looking for next year, right? I agree. I also shared some of the product additions and enhancements from over the past year to help partners better convert travelers. We just have to create that demand for your destination. And great news, Expedia Group meets travelers where they look and book. So what does that mean, really? We power 20 plus global brands, the largest B2B business in the industry, 60,000 plus demand partners, access to over 3 million hotel and vacation properties, and hundreds of airlines, car rental, and cruise companies. This means about 1 billion searches monthly on our sites, about 100 million search events daily, and 60 million AI predictions every 5 minutes for travelers and partners. So you've seen these 3 logos at the top throughout the presentation as we focus our marketing efforts on our 3 core brands. So Expedia, it's all about made to travel, offers the complexity for tools like Trip Planner and these trips that have multi-elements to them, hotels.com. It's aligned around finding a perfect somewhere for those spontaneous quick trips, and Vrbo for the JOMO seekers or the groups looking to get away in a private vacation rentals. So Additionally, though, over the years through acquisitions, we focused on global growth and geo expansion to bring even more traveler demand to our platform and partners. But that's not all. It's so much bigger than that. We also have a vast B2B distribution network that spans globally. There's over 60,000 partners, 140,000 travel agents, and spans 130 countries. There's a massive complex travel ecosystem, and travelers want to book in different ways and different sites, leveraging different loyalty programs and tools. And we realize that. So not only are we investing in our B2C products, Expedia.com, Vrbo, Hotels.com, because we know that searches often start there. We are continuing to invest in these additional partnerships that help us reach that traveler, both, like I said, where they look and book, and expands demand reach for all of you. So some of these partners that we work with are listed here. Again, 60,000, a little more logos than I could put on the slide, but this is just a few examples of where this incremental business is being booked. And again, these are travelers that your hotels wouldn't be able to reach through their own channels. So it truly is incremental. They also bring 40% more off-season bookings, 10% more midweek, and higher ADRs. And about 15% are business travelers. There's no additional cost for your destination. Your hotels are already benefiting from this. And I will say that at the hotel level, there are things that hotels can do to further optimize, but that's just one more reason that we need to keep those lines of communication open and make sure that your partners in your destination are talking to our team members and helping them convert. So what does this look like for North Carolina's top market, excluding Asheville? So I pulled some data with Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Raleigh-Durham, and Wilmington. Collaboratively, when I looked at year to date versus the last 28 days, that year-over-year growth number, the percentage was the same. But what's really interesting, that share of B2B net room night growth has grown, leaving the opportunity to re-inspire the B2C travelers. So if you can just imagine if the bar on the right was higher because of the actual B2C traveler being a bigger piece of it. So, like I said, what if we could just accelerate that B2C and we would keep getting the organic growth that you're seeing from B2B? We power our partnerships by inspiring hundreds of millions of travelers, shoppers globally on Expedia Group brands. And what does this mean for a destination that's looking to drive that demand? So this is the part where I say to connect with Jessica. She is absolutely the expert in terms of our media tools and what that can bring to you. There is an immense amount of data that we have that we're able to share with our partners, and to be able to really dive into what your destination is seeing in terms of competitive intel, demand, where it's coming from. So connect with us and let's nerd out over data. So all that to say, we power global travel for everyone, everywhere. And here at Expedia Group, we do believe travel is a force for good. We work at Expedia because we love travel and everything it stands for. And we believe in the inclusivity for both our employees and our travelers. We're building a technology platform to see that mission through. And we all believe that when the traveler wins, we all win. All right. So to bring it all back together, a couple of takeaways here. So first and foremost, short-term planning continues, and North Carolina is seeing that decrease in demand for the B2C channels. So it's not too late to inspire the travel in Q1. And then I shared some Unpack 25 trends. Events continue to drive demand with the tour tourism, and our media team can help your destinations be those detour destinations. And then let's all embrace the JOMO and show travelers how they can do that. And again, I can't say this enough, just reach out to us, connect. We'd love to chat with you, get to know you. And again, if you'll be in Asheville next week, please connect with me. You can reach myself and my team at this alias on the slide, and I can forward it over to Jessica. Yeah, and I'll open it up now if there's any questions. I may not have answers to them, and if I don't, we'll absolutely get back to you.
Sounds good, Kristi. Thanks so much for sharing. One question that came in with the American 250th anniversary coming up, are there any like special promotions or things that Expedia is doing that kind of highlight people looking to travel to some of those events?
That is a great question, and that is one of those that I will look into that.
No problem. Being one of the original 13, you know, that is something that is we're looking forward to, you know, having here in North Carolina. So yeah, that'd be probably good to know, and not quite a natural phenomenon like the eclipses, but certainly there's probably going to be some travel related to it on that. And then another question we got that came in was related to you talked about spontaneous travel, but it seemed to be on somewhat on the leisure side. You're familiar with our state. We've got a lot of interstate, so there is, as much as we'd love people to spend more time in North Carolina, we know that there is some overnight because they're going between destinations. How does the loyalty program kind of work with those type of travelers, those that are just getting off the interstate, staying a night? Are you seeing, like, are people using that program much for that kind of travel as well?
Definitely. So I'll take that question in two ways. So our mobile app is excellent, and we see a significant number of bookings that come through our mobile app, especially in North Carolina. So that's one way that travelers convert. There's ways that hotels can actually offer discounts and target travelers that are shopping on their mobile device. I'll also I shared some similar information here in Georgia earlier this week, and a slide that I included in that presentation that I didn't include to this one just because it wasn't as relevant was a slide showing a trip that I took actually earlier this year. I took a road trip from Atlanta all through Florida. The first day I drove all the way from Atlanta to Orlando, and I didn't stop anywhere in Georgia on the way. And I think back on that, why not? I could have stopped in Valdosta. I could have stopped in Tifton. I could have stopped off for a night and checked out a city that I would probably not normally stop in. And then I thought, why didn't I? And there wasn't inspiration there for me to do that as I was planning it. My mind going through the travel planning process, I was so focused on the destinations in Florida, and I didn't have anything in my face saying, hey, here's Georgia. And we have data, and this is another one where Jessica can give you all of the really, really detailed information around how our media tools work. But there are absolutely ways that destinations in Georgia could have targeted me during that trip planning process to encourage me to stop off for a night in their city.
Okay, that's great news. I see in a little bit of the chat a couple of our destinations have said, oh yeah, we kind of fall into that. So it sounds like Jessica, who put her information in earlier, jroy at expediagroup.com, can possibly provide some additional information into that. Yeah, and Jessica's also been quick to note as well. North Carolina, in addition to some of our legendary basketball and everything, but there are some World Cup opportunities coming up. I believe it's the World Club Cup. I'm probably mistaken on that name directly, but that will be there coming in next year in the Charlotte area in particular. What you talked a little bit about set jetting, and I just want to make sure I understood, because not the FOMO, but it looked like one of the trends you were saying is people wanting to be somewhere where they can't be contacted. Was that correct, and something that you guys are possibly looking at highlighting a little more in 2025?
Yeah, so Vrbo, they actually have 76 new amenities that can be added for properties, new search filters. I'm not the expert in Vrbo. We have a
Sure.
team that I can definitely refer someone to, but there's a lot of cool things that are happening on Vrbo for those people that want to search for a specific type of vacation rental home. And maybe they're open to the destination because all they just want to do is go and chill out.
Okay.
And so Vrbo actually can help the traveler find that kind of experience too.
Great. Look, full disclosure, Kristi and I talked before, and we said, look, I'm film, and some of this stuff I get, some of it I don't. So pardon if it's a dumb question, but are there ways that some of our DMOs might be able to promote their, especially with VRBO maybe, or Verbo, sorry, on their platform, like the locations within their specific area. So not just one specific home, if you will, but just verbos that are in their area overall.
And that's going to be a question that I would defer to Jessica. Again, I know on the hotel side, like as mentioned, we've done hotel co-ops in some of
Yeah,
the cities.
that's right.
And I'm sure that there's opportunities. It may not be in co-op format, but I'm sure that there's opportunities to showcase specific vacation rental homes. I don't know exactly what that would look like. And Jessica is quick to chime in. Thank you.
She is. Yeah,
Some
there.
landing pages. Amazing.
Yeah, so Jessica said that there can definitely be custom landing pages created to pull all rentals within a destination on that. So some of our, again, our DMOs, if you didn't already know this, it looks like there are options there, to capitalize on that. Sounds like very similar to how it's been done with Expedia and the hotels previously. Okay. I'm going to give an opportunity for any last minute questions that may pop up while I do that. Again, just a reminder, coming up to start the new year, we do have our first two webinars scheduled. In January, we'll be talking with Tourism Exchange. And then in February, we'll do a Visit NC 101, which again is targeted for those that are either new to the industry or new to the industry in North Carolina. As always, you can find information on our upcoming webinars at partners.visitnc.com. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, this specific webinar has been recorded, and you will be able to find a recording of that going to the same page, partners.visitnc.com, and that will link you to our industry YouTube page, which has recordings from all of our previous webinars. So if you didn't get to attend the ones about tips for using OneNote, those recordings are there, so you can look at that. Or if you found some of the information today very helpful and wish to share it with a colleague or a partner, you can certainly direct them to this recording and they can watch it themselves. All right, Kristi, there was very great question. Is there a cost to use OneKey?
No.
And that's free for the consumer, correct?
It is. Anyone can be an Expedia member, and every time you stay, you earn OneKey cash, and then you can redeem that cash. And like I said, Expedia fully funds that. And the more stays that you stay, the more OneKey cash you earn, and the more you grow in the tiers to gold and platinum.
That's awesome. That's very good. And across all the brands was the other thing that I gathered from there. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I believe you have covered everything for us, Kristi. So really appreciate you joining, and thanks to Jessica as well, even though she was a little camera shy. No, it was great to have her here lending out. So Kristi, can you give us your contact information if anyone has questions?
Yes, I will try.
Or the North Carolina one in general. Either way. Oh, there we go. Put it right there in the chat. teamnc@expediagroup.com or the letter K, Pruitt@expediagroup.com. So again, any questions you guys have that we maybe didn't get to, or that you think of later today or as you continue on, don't hesitate to reach out to Kristi. I know they've been a great partner with ours, and really excited to see some of the stuff that they're sharing and insights that they gave today. Well, with that, I do wish you all a very good day. Hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday season. And we look forward to speaking with you again soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye now.
Thank you so much.